like subscribers on YouTube. So really nobody's going to be watching it live, but it will be stored on YouTube so that if there's any part of this that you want, you'll be able to download it easily.
Okay.
Okay. Can you hear that?
I can hear you. Yes. I can't hear the video. No.
Okay. Well, I'm going to mute that video because we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Oh, I can hear it a little bit.
Well, I just muted it. So do you see now that it says meeting is now streaming live on YouTube?
Live on YouTube.
Got it.
And recording. Both. No pressure.
No pressure. Now, one thing I did notice about when we went live on Facebook that last time, it did a speaker view. Automatically. So whoever was talking had the screen. Anyhow, that doesn't matter. I just thought that was interesting.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to see if I can do a timer, even though time has got me flummoxed. Stopwatch. No, I want a timer.
I know you think time is a man-made construct.
Well, it is. That is a true statement right there. It is totally man-made. You have 3 minutes. Can you see? Oh, it's a mirror, so it's backwards. Yes, 3 minutes, not 3 hours. Once I hit start, we're going to hope that Baxter stays quiet, even though I think his bone is already gone, his rawhide, whatever. And we're going to do some rapid fire Q&A. And the reason I would like to do this is because too often we're uncomfortable talking about ourselves. And sometimes if you just ask some interesting questions, you can get to know folk. I'm hoping that this will be rapid fire, meaning that there shouldn't be a lengthy answer to any of the questions, even if it's a one-word answer. We're going to see how many questions we can get through. I have 100 total, but in 3 minutes, I only anticipate getting through 20, maybe. What do you think? What's your guess, Erin?
I could probably do 20 in 3 minutes, although talking about me is not my favorite subject. But thank you for having me on your channel live, Amy Stark. I appreciate it. As our fellow Social Media Dames founder, we were talking off camera about Social Media Dames in 2021. So hopefully after my rapid fire thing about me, we could talk about Social Media Dames.
But you really are interesting, Erin. You know, a lot of people aren't that interesting.
Really?
And you really, I mean, look behind you. Look at all that behind you.
This is the Wall of Fame. This is where I record my own weekly videos every week. And actually, it's in my home office. Right now, I'm working from home. And every day at work in my home office, I get to face the Wall of Fame. And it's full of ephemera and thank you cards and photos and things like travel ephemera, things that I miss because of COVID. So I love this wall. This is my favorite thing.
I do. I love the wall too. I really do. Well, let's start off the rapid fire Q&A, and I will start off by asking you to introduce yourself, tell us a little bit something about yourself, and then I'm going to hit the 3-minute timer.
Okay.
So, Erin Albert, tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Erin Albert. I grew up in South Bend, Indiana, home of Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish.
And Pete Buttigieg.
Well, although that's not his home anymore, right? I think he's probably going back and forth between DC. Yeah, so I am a pharmacist by trade. I also am a lawyer, but don't hold that part against me. Written a bunch of books, super nerdy.
Yes. And tell me about the dolls behind you.
Those are the STEM princesses. So I wrote a book trilogy called The Amazing Adventures of the
Princesses.
Amazing Adventures of the Princesses from Planet STEM. That is a big mouthful, but I wrote a book trilogy getting girls excited about STEM. Those are some of the STEM princesses from the book.
And I have that book, and I think it's even signed. I think I have a first edition, as a matter of fact, that I will hold on to.
The very first book is totally sold out, and people to this day still ask me, where's the first book? And I'm like, I'm sorry, it's out of print, but maybe I'll get back to printing another version of it. We'll see.
You don't have it on a print by demand thing like a Lulu? Okay.
Nope.
Okay, so we've covered your introduction. Oh, and let me just say this. We both have a delicious Ruby Law mug, although mine is backwards. You must not have your mirror image on. Or maybe does mine look forward to you?
Right, yeah.
Oh, okay, good. All right. Thank you, Jennifer. This is my favorite mug. I use it every day, every day. Okay, here's my timer. And I'm going to hit start, and we're going to start, and I'm going to get my questions that I wanted to ask in order. Okay, you ready?
As much as I'll ever be.
You'll be fine. Just think fast as you can, and just throw out whatever comes to your mind.
Okay.
And we can edit out if there's something untoward that you may want to say. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Yep. Okay, Erin, where's Waldo?
I have no idea.
What story does your family always tell about you?
Oh God.
Did I stump you right away?
You did. I don't know. Let's come back to that one.
Okay. What's something you learned last week?
New drugs approved by the Food and Drug Administration in 2020.
When was the last time that you were nervous?
I
would say now. If
yeah, now is good.
What do you miss most about being a kid?
The variety of my day.
What's the hardest thing you've ever done?
Gone to pharmacy school the first time.
Oh, what was the last movie or TV show that made you cry, made you tear up, got you all verklempt?
Oh, it was last night. It was Firefly Lane on Netflix. Okay.
Is that something you'd recommend?
I'm not all the way through it yet, but yeah, if you like girlfriend relationships, girls, being friends with girls, I think it's a really interesting series.
If you could know the answer to any question beside what's the meaning of life, what would it be?
Why?
Oh, why? That's a good one. I'm a philosopher, so that's a huge question. If you were reincarnated as an animal, drink, or ice cream flavor, what would it be?
Animal, cat, drink, cosmopolitan, ice cream flavor, Superman.
Okay. If you could learn to do anything, what would it be?
Actually, this is still on my bucket list. Blowing glass.
Yes. I would love to do that too. If you could witness any past event, what would you like to be there for?
Construction of the gardens at the Hanging Gardens of Babylon.
Wow. Oh, you are a gardener. You're always posting pictures. Okay. So what sound do you love?
Birds chirping.
If you could choose to stay a certain age forever, what age would that be?
I love this question. 39, best age.
Really?
Yes.
I wouldn't think that you're even 39 yet.
God bless you, Amy.
I'm serious. Okay, here's the last question because we're down to 2 seconds. What have you never done before?
Skydived.
Are you going to?
No.
I won't either. I could never imagine taking that first step. Yeah, that's something I don't need to. That's not on my bucket list. I don't know if I have anything adventurous. Maybe zip line somewhere. I might do
Ooh, that
that.
sounds fun, actually. I would do that long before I would skydive.
So if you could live, and this isn't, I mean, we've already gone past the 3 minutes, but I'd like to, if you could live anywhere, where would you want to live? Because I would live in Scotland. I've not been to many places, but when I was in Scotland, I just felt, I felt, I don't know, I felt home.
Yeah. I love Paris, but I don't want to live there year round. I mean, if money and time and resources were infinite, it would be definitely be somewhere in Europe in the summer and then somewhere south in the winter here in the US.
And I think that's all of my questions. I'm not quite sure it went as I planned, but I hope people learned a little bit more about you than they did at the beginning. And I will say that before we went live, we were discussing when to have the next Social Media Dames Unconference. It will be our 10th one, and we're hoping by the end of the year, enough people will be vaccinated and enough people will be over this pandemic so that we can have it on November 19th, 2021. It'll be our 10th unconference. And Erin came up with the hashtag this time. So do you want to reveal the hashtag for Social Media Dames 21?
I mean, it's our 10th anniversary. It's the Friday before Thanksgiving. Thankful was what I came up with, and based on our conversation, based on the fact that we've all been kind of shut in and sheltered because of COVID, which makes you think about what you're grateful for, what you're thankful for. And we are so thankful to have all of you in the Social Media Dames uh, conferences of the past, live streams, participating on our Facebook page. I mean, you name it. We probably touched at least 1,000 lives now. What do you think, Amy?
At least 1,000. I at one point was going to, and I don't know if you can hear Baxter barking.
Oh yeah, that's okay.
Um, I want to list all of the women that have been storytellers, and I would love to figure out if the unconference was their point of face-to-face connection, because I'm very proud of the women that we've connected who have subsequently done business together or worked for one another, or just they were able to become networking partners to enhance both of their businesses. I'm very proud of that. That's the thing I'm most proud of. I've not been, Digital Dames Inc. isn't the most successful small business, except for the mission to connect these women and make sure that they're staying up to date on the latest digital trends. I'm very proud of that. And if I had to define success, it would be how many women have I connected together so that we can all have a stronger community of influencers, influential, powerful women who are doing good in the world and helping other women come up behind them. So I know that's a passion of yours too. I know that, I mean, you did several what was the mentor book that you did? And you also did Single Female Entrepreneur. That's the one I was trying to think of. And I have that copy too. Tell us about that one.
Yeah, so the first one is the He Said, She Said Guide to Mentoring. And actually, I co-wrote it with one of my mentors, who is a male ambassador, I call it, Dr. David Borst. And he was my business school dean when I went to B school. And he and I just kept in touch over the long haul. And he retired officially from Concordia University, Wisconsin, where I got my MBA finished. And he emailed me one day out of the blue and he said, I'm bored. Like, let's do something together. And I'm like, okay. So we conspired together to write 2 books kind of in one. He started a mentoring program specifically for women in the city of Milwaukee. And I had started several different types of mentoring programs, either through nonprofit association work that I had done in the past or through my own coaching and development of particularly healthcare professionals.
Mhm.
So we both kind of shared our own stories around how to set up mentoring programs to support women. And he did it from his male ally and male ambassador perspective. And I did it kind of as almost a peer-to-peer respective point of view. So you literally flip the book over to read each other's stories, which I think is kind of cool. And I'd never done that before. I rarely do book projects in team settings or with co-authors. I tend to roll very solo that way. So it was really fun to work with him that way. Single Women Entrepreneurs, there's actually 2 books. I followed them longitudinally, published the first one around 2010-ish, I think, and then followed up with them 5 years later to figure out what are they up to, how have their businesses done, how have they done personally and professionally. So that was a lot of fun. And to this day, I think still some of those women connect with one another.
And I'm not in the book, but I've read the book, and I'm just so thankful that there are women around who aren't necessarily viewing other women as competitors, which I've run into several times throughout my career. Um, I admire women who support other women and don't view them as rivals, not competitors. I'm big on using the word competition as to strive together for the betterment of all. So we're all trying to reach a good goal, but too often women view each other as rivals, and that's never a good situation. I don't want to be a rival.
Wasn't it David Letterman that said, this is not a competition nor an exhibition, please, no wagering? I mean, I think that says it all. Like, we're all on our own journey. So there's no reason why we can't, be on the sidelines supporting each other down our own pathways, whatever those may be, because they're all different. So
Yes.
I'm with you. I don't like competitions nor exhibitions. Please, no wagering.
No wagering. Well, I will always bet on you, Erin, because you are just a superhero as far as promoting and supporting entrepreneurial women that I know. So I'm very thankful for your support throughout the social media dames effort as well. And I guess that would be a good time to bring it full circle and wrap this one up. Even though I said it was only going to be 15 to 20 minutes, I think we've gone beyond that. But as I've said, even 2 or 3 times this morning, time is a man-made construct. And, I don't know how it works really, but I guess it's a good thing. But once again, if you want to mark your calendars, November 19th, it's a Friday. It's the Friday before Thanksgiving. And there's no location yet. Depending on where we are in the pandemic, it may be virtual, although I really would like to do an in-person event. That's where the chemistry really happens. We did that many virtual online, and it didn't have, well, nothing has the same feel as it had before March of last year. But
Agreed. Just as a matter of fact, this week I got my second COVID vaccination as a healthcare professional. I think, I just want to, in closing, support the fact that I got vaccinated. I would love to see others get vaccinated. My family is in line to get vaccinated as well. It's rolling out very slowly, but I think it's very encouraging, particularly with a 3rd vaccine going before the Food and Drug Administration at the end of February. The Johnson & Johnson vaccine is very interesting in that it's a one and done vaccination. as well, it only needs or only requires refrigeration. So that vaccine could be a game changer for how we are vaccinating in this country. So even though the J&J vaccine is not yet approved by the FDA, I need to be clear about that. I think it'll be something very interesting to watch, and hopefully, should that one be approved, I think we can start vaccinating at a faster rate, get more vaccine clinics up and running, and then ultimately and hopefully get back together face to face. And one of those events being Social Media Dames on 11/19/21.
Nice to bring that back around. I do have one. You did bring me, remind me of a question that I have. When I mentioned to my daughter, who is, she's working on her nurse practitioner degree and just recently got her RN. And when I told her about Johnson & Johnson, she said that it wasn't as effective. And I was trying to explain to her what Dr. Fauci was saying about how it's not really comparable. Is there any way to help me clarify that when someone says that? Because I wasn't able to speak intelligently about it.
The efficacy rate does appear to be a little bit lower. I have not personally seen the data yet, so I can't comment on it.
Okay.
The Biologicals and Vaccinations Committee that looks at these before they go to the FDA for final approval will go through all of the data. And the great thing about social media is that that committee is now live streaming their meetings, which never happened before. So if anybody's really interested and loves the data geekery like I do, you can actually watch the live stream with the Biologics and Vaccines Committee with the Food and Drug Administration on the 26th. And they dig into all the details around the phase 3, particularly clinical trials of the vaccines. And that's the large scale clinical trials where you have tens of thousands of patients in this instance. I think I saw that the J&J studies had about 60,000 patients, which is huge.
Oh,
Even if you have a lower rate of efficacy, and again, I haven't seen the official data, but even if you do, it's still got to be better than the alternative, which is potentially getting COVID-19, right? And you never know if you're going to be that one patient that has the horrific immunological responses or lack thereof, and then you get sick and end up intubated at a hospital. And really, they're calling them long haulers, those patients that just never fully have recovered from COVID-19. So, even our own influenza vaccines that happen every year, they're only about 60% efficacious or effective. So even with that lower a percentage, I still am passionate about making sure that everybody gets vaccinated if they can, because it's better than the alternative, right? Which I just articulated.
The only thing I was able to say intelligently, repeating Dr. Fauci, was that it was 100% effective against death, which I think is a pretty good standard. So
yeah,
if the Johnson & Johnson becomes available to me, I'm taking it. But I'm glad to know that you're vaccinated, and my daughter's vaccinated too, because she too she's working at the psych unit as she goes through her finishing up her degree for her nurse practitioner. Well, I took way longer. I knew this would happen. Next time, I promise I'm going to have 2 timers, one that is 15 to 20 minutes, like I said it would take. But I hope that anyone watching this, and I'll be able to share this on Facebook, but really get your vaccine. I think that's a really good message. And in the meantime, also, we need to keep wearing masks because
physically distance. Don't go to the Super Bowl parties this weekend. Stay home. Watch Puppy Bowl and Kitten Bowl at home. I mean, I'm more of a fan of those than I am the actual Super Bowl. So
Yeah, me too. I forgot about the Puppy Bowl. But what did I hear? We should all stay home and watch the Super Bowl. And I heard a comedian say something to the effect of, I'm used to staying home and eating alone and getting fat on my own without going to a Super Bowl party. So this works out fine for me. And
yeah,
I resemble that remark, I guess, is it?
me too.
Well,
Snack.
I will. Thank you so much, Erin. Once again, November 19th, 2021 is SM Dames, and the hashtag will be thankful. And I hope everyone's enjoying this beautiful Saturday. It probably isn't Saturday when you watch this, but if it is, enjoy it, whatever day it is. And we'll sign off for now.
Thanks, Amy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.